people being like, Ellen is a nasty person.
So there's a claim circulating right now that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human flesh.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason.
Jeffrey Epstein and his Hollywood elite circle have been exposed as cannibals. Not rumours, not whispers. Hard evidence from the files. Babies in fridges. Jerky as code. Rituals that will make your blood run cold.
I told y'all that Ellen was involved way more than we think in the Epstein files. Her name comes up almost 900 times. Second of all, if you look at a picture of the satanic ritual house or whatever it is on Epstein's island next to Ellen's set, they look damn near similar. The blue and the white, the palm trees, the white chairs, all of that.
Imagine spending 2 decades building a brand on a single, simple promise. Be kind to one another. For 20 years, Ellen DeGeneres sat on a throne of daytime television, a position that made her one of the most trusted and influential figures in America. Her show wasn't just entertainment. It was a cultural safe haven where dancing, laughter, and wholesome generosity were the only things on the menu. But as the curtains finally closed on her long-running empire, a much darker reality began to bleed through the cracks of that polished exterior. We aren't just talking about a few disgruntled employees or a toxic workplace culture, though those revelations certainly lit the fuse. We are talking about an unmasking so profound, it has linked the Queen of Kindness to the darkest elite circles on the planet. As the legal system began to pry open the vault of the most notorious figure in modern history, Jeffrey Epstein, the name DeGeneres didn't just appear as a footnote. It allegedly surfaced in a way that suggests she was far more involved in that high-stakes world than anyone ever dared to dream. The public is now forced to ask if the Be Kind brand was ever real, or if it was the ultimate PR shield designed to hide a proximity to darkness that would make your blood run cold.
And she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood. This person
with $100 million in her pocket.
$450 million according to Forbes. That's a low estimate. So now she's out there saying, I was run out of Hollywood. She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
They're going to let her back in, Rob, because she's a and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
When the Department of Justice finally decided to unseal the records associated with the Epstein network, the world braced for a list of names that would shake the foundations of Hollywood and Washington alike.
Attorney General Pam Bondi claims the DOJ released all the Epstein files and even listed out 300 names.
But nobody expected the count to be this staggering. Rumors began to explode across social media, specifically fueled by detailed threads on X, suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres' name appears nearly 900 times within those unsealed files. When you move in those elite circles with that level of frequency, the word coincidence starts to lose its meaning. These aren't just casual mentions. They are reportedly part of a massive index that includes flight logs, background references, and private communications that define the world of the Untouchables. While her defenders scrambled to claim these were merely administrative overlaps, the public began to look closer at her private jet's movement and the timing of her global travels. It's a paper trail that points toward a deep integration into a system where the rules of common morality didn't apply. For a woman who made hundreds of millions of dollars selling a message of simple, relatable joy, the discovery of her name etched so deeply into the Epstein ledger is a stain that no amount of dancing can ever truly wash away, leaving a damn big question mark over her entire legacy.
So there's a claim circulating right now that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human flesh. People are sharing distorted images of her face, writing paragraphs about underground dystopias, calling her a vampire. Now, Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials. Flight logs, communications, third-party interviews, peripheral records.
These rumors were further amplified by resurfaced clips of the host's inner circle, including a bizarre video of Chrissy Teigen on a food show where she jokingly discussed her willingness to consume human meat if the person okayed it. While her PR team dismissed it as a dark joke, the timing of these resurfaced videos alongside the DOJ's coded language has created a storm of speculation that is impossible to quiet. When you combine the jerky codes with the babies and fridges mentions found in the files, a narrative begins to emerge of a group of people who believe they are so far above the rest of humanity that the laws of nature and morality no longer apply. For the Be Kind lady to be at the center of this circle, the woman who gave these people a platform and a stamp of approval, it raises the stakes of her own involvement to a terrifying level. It suggests that the elite aren't just disconnected from the public, they are operating in a world that is fundamentally unrecognizable to any decent person, where the most horrific acts are treated as insider jokes among the powerful.
There's like actually nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
But the questions don't stop at the paper trail. While the world was busy decrypting her name in the unsealed files, Ellen was quietly planning an exit strategy that would take her thousands of miles away from the Hollywood spotlight. Since retreating to the English countryside, the woman the public sees today is almost unrecognizable compared to the polished, energetic queen of daytime. Some say she's finally embracing her natural self after ditching the expensive fillers and the signature blonde hair, but others believe the physical transformation tells a much more haunting story of a woman under immense pressure. It's as if the weight of the global unmasking, the 900 mentions and the dark jerky codes has finally carved itself into her features, leaving her to hide in plain sight among the rolling hills. But what did Portia Rossi really reveal about this sudden transformation? And is this move to the UK a genuine fresh start or a desperate attempt to outrun a past that refused to stay buried in the vault?
Why does Ellen DeGeneres look like a completely different person? After spending 6 months away from the US, her wife Portia de Rossi tearfully revealed 3 reasons behind the transformation. In a recent video, Ellen showed off her new home in the English countryside, but many people also noticed that compared to before, Ellen seemed like a totally different person. So what happened? The truth is, her wife Portia shared some heartbreaking reasons. First, Portia said that after Ellen's talk show got canceled and she faced allegations about workplace misconduct, Ellen's mental health hit rock bottom. Even though a lot of time has passed, she's still been haunted by the past. It even made her start to reject who she used to be. Second, Ellen ditched her signature blonde hair and went with her natural dark brown shade instead. She said in an interview that constant coloring had damaged her hair, even causing some hair loss. To get her hair back to a healthy state, she decided to embrace her natural color. Finally, Ellen shared on a show that she'd stopped using Botox and fillers.
But perhaps the most telling piece of evidence isn't found in a dusty file, but in a moment that was almost erased from television history. Back in 2016, Kanye West sat on that very set and delivered a message so raw it seems to physically rattle the queen of kindness herself. While the media quickly labeled it as another erratic rant, a deeper dive into the transcript reveals Kanye was attempting to break the fourth wall of the Hollywood machine, challenging the very power structures we've been uncovering. He spoke about the legacies of Picasso and Walt Disney, questioning why the living aren't allowed to reach those same heights, and describing a world where the elite keep the masses distracted while they play by a different set of rules. Pay close attention to the energy in the room during this exchange. It's the look of a high-level gatekeeper trying to manage a glitch in the Matrix. Many believe this footage was suppressed because Kanye was getting too close to the truth, hinting at the one race and a shared human potential that the industry's sacred cows would rather keep hidden behind their blue and white striped curtains. It's a chilling reminder that in the world of the Untouchables, the only thing more dangerous than a secret document is a man with a microphone who refuses to stop speaking in code.
Everybody's trying to I don't give how much you sold. If you playing on radio, are you connecting? Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living that you can name in the same breath as them. Don't tell me about being likable. We got 100 years here. We're one race, the human race, one civilization. We're a blip in the existence of the universe. And we constantly trying to pull each other down, not doing things to help each other. but I feel that I can make a difference while I'm here through my skill set. My skills, I'm an artist. 5 years old, art school, PhD, Art Institute of Chicago. I am an artist. I have a condition called synesthesia where I see sounds. I see them. Everything that I sonically make is a painting. I see the importance. I see the importance and the value of everyone being able to experience a more beautiful life.
But the paper trail doesn't just stop at flight logs and private island architecture. It leads into a realm of ritualistic bargains that most people would find impossible to believe. When we talk about the Untouchables, like Epstein and the figures in his inner circle, we have to look at the alleged price of entry into that exclusive club. Rumors have long swirled that the Be Kind host wasn't just a friendly face in the industry, but a participant in a much older, darker tradition of secrecy and blood-signed contracts. Some call it a Mephistophelian bargain, a literal deal with the shadows to ensure fame and protection from the public eye. As the unsealed documents continue to reveal names and coded food-based jargon, the connection between these high-level rituals and the figures we see on our screens every day becomes a damn lot clearer. It makes you wonder if the dance was just a distraction for a contract that was signed in blood long before the world ever heard her name.
Well, this one was super creepy. Y'all like the video right there, and check this out.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation. I was ready to become involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul to the devil. I had to sign my name on the contract in blood. I had to sign my name in the black book. You gotta understand something. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a nonstop all eternity. So you're smoking, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity. And it's party hardy time. But before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism, excuse me, I had to get 7 people to sell our souls to the devil. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation, because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature. You'll see that that is in fact the case.
But while the public is just now getting a glimpse of the 900 mentions in the unsealed logs and the coded language of the elite, some insiders have been sounding the alarm for years. Johnny Depp, a man who's experienced the industry's most brutal shifts firsthand, once delivered a warning that feels chillingly accurate in the context of this massive unmasking. He spoke about a world where the floor can disappear from under even the most powerful figures with just one sentence, suggesting that the era of the Untouchables is a damn lot more fragile than they'd like us to believe. As we look at the total collapse of the Be Kind kingdom and the shocking proximity to the Epstein files, his words about how no one is safe and how quickly the carpet can be pulled out seem less like a general comment and more like a direct prophecy of the reckoning we are witnessing today. Pay close attention to how he describes the system that protects and then eventually erases those who move in these high-level circles, because it perfectly mirrors the silent exit and the public fall of the daytime queen.
It's so far out of hand now that I can promise you that no one is safe. Not one of you. Not one of you. Not anyone out that door. No one is safe as long as someone is willing to say one sentence, takes one sentence, and then there's no more ground. Carpet's been pulled. But it's not just me, you know, that this has happened to. It's happened to a lot of people.
To understand the true nature of this power dynamic, we have to look back at the moments the world chose to ignore, specifically a 2008 interview that many now see as a massive red flag. Mariah Carey, one of the biggest stars on the planet, walked onto that stage hoping for a friendly chat, but instead, she was met with a display of dominance that felt more like a public interrogation. The host, aware of rumors that Mariah was pregnant, pressured her to drink champagne on air to prove the rumors wrong. Despite Mariah's visible discomfort and her attempts to laugh off the pressure, the host was relentless, eventually forcing her to take a sip just to end the awkwardness. The fallout was devastating. Mariah later revealed she had suffered a miscarriage shortly after that appearance, making the host's pursuit of a gotcha moment look like a total lack of empathy. Re-examining this incident through the lens of the current accusations paints a picture of an individual who felt entirely entitled to the private lives and bodies of others. It wasn't daytime TV fun, it was a demonstration of power, a way of showing that even a superstar like Mariah Carey could be broken down for the sake of a host's ego. This power over empathy mindset is exactly what defines the dark elite circles currently being exposed, and it shows that the signs were there all along if we had only been willing to look.
The other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer. Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since
Mariah later revealed she had suffered a miscarriage, which, in hindsight, made that moment feel even heavier. However, Mariah couldn't help but address the clip in a new interview with Vulture. I was extremely uncomfortable with that moment is all I can say. And I really have had a hard time grappling with the aftermath, she shared with the publication. I wasn't ready to tell anyone because I had had a miscarriage. I don't want to throw anyone that's already being thrown under any proverbial bus, but I didn't enjoy that moment. Mariah went on to suggest that there's an empathy that can be applied to those moments that I would have liked to have been implemented. But what am I supposed to do? It's like, sings, what are you going to do?
This leads us to a fundamental question. How did she get away with it for so long? For 2 decades, the rumors of her toxic behavior were an open secret in Hollywood. The stories of staff being told not to make eye contact and the cold, oppressive atmosphere behind the scenes were legendary. Yet she was never held accountable until the very end. According to recent sit-downs with figures like Megyn Kelly and Schneider, the answer lies in her status as a sacred cow of the industry. In the current Hollywood system, as long as you align yourself with the right political and cultural ideologies, your personal behavior is almost entirely protected. You can be as nasty as you want to the little people in your hallway as long as you're a major fundraiser and PR pillar for the elite's chosen narratives. Schneider and Kelly argued that she wasn't protected because she was liked, but because she was useful, a wholesome face that could sell the elite's agenda to middle America. This protection policy ensures that as long as the machine is running smoothly, the screams of the staff and the unethical behavior behind the scenes are simply ignored. It was a massive trade-off where the industry shielded her from the consequences of her actions, and in return, she gave them a massive platform to influence the public mind, proving that in Hollywood, loyalty is only as deep as your latest profit margin.
I have a question for you on this. This is perfect for you. Because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or...
Yeah.
But she was said to be, and that's Ellen DeGeneres. I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, we're not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person.
And as the public began to dig deeper into the actual text of the communications found in those unsealed files, the conversation took a turn into a territory that most people would find deeply unsettling. Forensic experts and lawmakers, including those who have seen the unedited DOJ records like Anna Paulina Luna, have pointed out that the elite often use a coded language to discuss their private activities. Terms like pizza, pasta, and most significantly, jerky, appeared in emails that had absolutely nothing to do with food or meal planning. In one particularly bizarre and dark exchange, a figure mentions being fragile and scared of shadows after reviewing videos that Epstein himself had cataloged. The use of the word jerky has become a central point of the unmasking, as it allegedly serves as a euphemism for the most horrific forms of exploitation imaginable. When these terms appear in logs that overlap with the daytime host's inner circle, the narrative of kindness begins to feel like a cruel joke. It suggests a secret dialect for a secret world where elites talked about humans as commodities and used food-based jargon to hide their most illicit behaviors from anyone who might stumble upon their messages. This isn't just internet speculation. It's a reflection of the chilling reality that those who move in the highest circles often speak a language designed to keep their darkest secrets buried in the light of day.
I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza. Another. This is better than a Chinese cookie. See attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda. And yet another bizarre line said, yeah, that's the pizza. You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement. Some messages went even darker emotionally. One read, sorry, I have no stomach for even the slightest aggro. I don't have the stomach for it for any drama, imaginary or real. I'm still fragile off the last one and scared of shadows.
As the final shadows fall over the career of a once untouchable icon, the silence from her Hollywood peers is the loudest thing in the room. The celebrities who once fought for a spot on that couch to dance and be associated with the Be Kind brand have vanished into the background. This is the final stage of the unmasking, the total isolation that occurs when a figure becomes too radioactive even for the industry's mutual protection policy. The connection to the Epstein logs, the Jerky codes, and the architectural mirrors of a private island have created a stain that no PR campaign can fix. It's a cautionary tale of the ages, a reminder that fame doesn't make you untouchable. It just makes the fall much more public and the scrutiny much more intense. The dance is over. The carpet has been pulled out, and as Johnny Depp and Schneider warned, no one is truly safe once the truth starts to surface. But the real question is who is next, and how many other wholesome brands are currently being used to distract us from a past that's about to catch up. Share this video with someone who still thinks Hollywood plays by the rules, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. We aren't stopping until every code is broken and every name in that ledger is revealed. Subscribe to stay connected with us.